Once upon a time, in a faraway meadow, there lived a rabbit named Oral. Ever since he was a child, Oral had been teased for his disproportionately large ears, which stuck out like two wings in the wind. Although he sometimes felt sad, his mother always reminded him that every peculiarity has a special purpose. Oral didn't understand what benefit his huge ears could bring him, but one day everything changed when he heard an alarming conversation from far away. A family of mice had become trapped in a burrow flooded by the recent rain. Without a second thought, Oral ran to the scene of the emergency, guided by the faint cries for help that his ears picked up clearly. When he arrived, the mice were barely able to stay afloat in the small cave that was rapidly filling with water. The entrance was partially blocked by branches and leaves that the water was carrying. The mice feared that the water would overwhelm them before they found a way to escape, and the situation would stop. Oral, determined to help them, assessed the situation and, with all his might, began to move the branches and leaves that were obstructing the entrance. However, his small paws were not strong enough to clear the entire entrance in time. As the seconds passed, Oral became more desperate, until he remembered what he was always told: your ears have a special purpose. Inspired, he decided to. Holding the branches with one paw, Oral began to flap his ears with incredible speed, generating a current of wind that, little by little, pushed the water out of the burrow. The mice, amazed, watched as the water level slowly dropped. Although Oral could not pull out all the branches with his paws, his ears did wonders in pushing the water out of the cave. The mice could not believe their eyes. For them, Oral was like a bird. Thanks to his efforts, the water receded enough for the mice to escape. One by one, they emerged from the burrow, shivering but grateful. The parent mice hugged their young, thanking Oral with tears in their eyes. "You saved our family. We will never forget what you did," they said, while Oral tried to reassure them, although deep down he felt proud. News of Oral's heroic deeds spread quickly throughout the prairie. The animals, who had once criticized him for his ears, now looked at him with admiration. To everyone, Oral was no longer just the rabbit with the big ears, but the savior of the mouse family. Some, like the old mole of the prairie, even began to say that his ears were the wings of a rabbit. On a full moonlit night, Oral was standing near the river, enjoying the calm and the silvery reflections in the water. Suddenly, he heard a faint noise. A fox was stalking a small group of ducklings that had ventured away from their mother. Wasting no time, Oral used his ears to pick up the exact location of the fox, who was sneaking up through the bushes. Oral knew he had to act quickly to protect the ducklings. Using the power of his ears again, he began to stir the air, creating a noise that confused the fox and made him stop. The ducklings, alerted by the sound, headed for the water and swam quickly towards their mother, who was on the other side of the river. The sound generated by Oral confused the fox every time he tried to move forward, frustrating his attempts to stalk the ducklings. The fox, bewildered and not knowing where the noise was coming from, looked around and, not seeing the ducklings, gave up and walked away, convinced that there were no easy prey in the area. Oral, from a distance, watched with satisfaction as the duck family was reunited again, safe and unscathed. It was a relief for everyone, especially for the ducklings, who now saw in Oral a. From then on, the animals of the prairie began to trust Oral not only for his bravery, but also for his ingenuity. They all knew that if there was any trouble, he would listen and be there to help. His ears had become a symbol of protection and friendship for all the inhabitants of the prairie, regardless of their size or species. Little by little, Oral won the affection of everyone and became a friend. Oral, though overwhelmed by the attention, went on with his life humbly, remembering that he had really only done what any friend would do. However, his ears were no longer a source of shame, but of pride. He understood that what made him different also made him unique, and that the key was knowing how to use his peculiarities to his advantage. In the days that followed, Oral continued to help other animals on the prairie. Whether it was using his great hearing to warn of danger or using his ears as fans to cool his friends on hot days, he always found a way to put his special talents to use. He had become a beloved and respected figure, someone everyone looked up to. And so Oral, the rabbit with the huge ears, found his place in the world. He learned that no matter how different we are, we all have something special to contribute. From then on, he never doubted his abilities again, because he knew that even the most unusual features can make a difference. Oral continued his life, helping those in need and proving that, although different, he was a true hero. With his huge ears, always ready to listen and protect, Oral became a symbol of bravery and kindness. He never doubted himself again, because he understood that sometimes what makes us unique is also what makes us heroes.